everybody is aware, but I'm working on my bachelor's right now, and one of my classes, the main focus is a change project. So in conjunction with Bluefield State and Tug River, I've decided to do a change project that will focus on our diabetic education. The goal is to create a diabetic information packet that will be utilized eventually by all the centers, but we're trying it out right here at Gary first. My set date to try to have the diabetic packet created is the 28th. So this weekend I'm going to put the finishing touches on it, and then by next week, and in conjunction with the Athena, maybe incorporating this into our workflow. I've set the packet up to where it can be utilized by any staff. So anybody that does any patient teaching at any of the centers will be able to use this diabetic patient education handout. We're going to start it here at Gary with the nursing staff, see what changes may need to be made, and then we can expand it out once we've got it good and going. The people that we would want to use this patient education packet for not only would be newly diagnosed diabetics, but we want to make sure that any uncontrolled diabetics are being provided with this teaching as well. Include their families, caregivers, anybody that would be in the clinic with them at the time of their appointment, and then make sure that they're taking this home with them so that they can pull it back out and they'll have it as an at-home resource for questions or things like that that they may have come up while they're at home. The benefits for this obviously is the usefulness of the information that we're going to provide to our patients. The way this packet is going to be organized, so basically starting out at the very beginning, what should I be eating? What are carbohydrates? Going to the very beginning, because you do not know exactly where to start with all your patients. You may think they've been a diabetic for several years. They should know this stuff. But the way I'm going to organize this is, very beginning. So if you are speaking to somebody who has no idea about diabetes, that's where this is going to start. We also use several handouts at all the clinics, pre-populated from other organizations and things, but they are not necessarily at maybe a reading level that we would want for our patients. So a lot of them have medical terminology and things that we don't normally say when we're doing patient teaching. And well, if that's on the handout that we're giving them, then they may not understand it once they get home. So I'm trying to make sure that all the language and all the wording that is used is going to be at a level that would be good for our patients. Making sure to use images, pictures that will go along with the information that's provided to help them get a better understanding. Everything's going to be bullet points so that there's no long, lengthy paragraphs that they'll have to read. And it's going to be tailored and individualized to our patients. So if there's a place where we want to set a goal for their A1C, it'll be blank. And that way, in conjunction with the provider, we can determine what their A1C goal is or what their blood sugar goal is, how many times they need to check their blood sugar a day. There'll be a place where we can put this in so it's individual for each patient that we do teaching for. And I've had a committee that I would like to thank for your participation. We've had several over here at Gary that's helped me out with this, but I've got a lot of staff input. So I know not only like what I usually teach when I do diabetic education, but I've got ideas from other staff members so that I can compile all this together. All the topics that are going to be in the handout are going to be in the form of questions. So it's all things that a patient has sat down and said to me, what's my blood sugar supposed to be? What type of food am I supposed to be eating? What can I eat when I go out to dinner? I'm ordering food out. So things that patients have asked, that's how I'm forming them in the handout. So it's all in the form of a question, and then the bullet points will be the answers. I have printed out copies of some of the topics that are going to be on the handout. So if anybody, before you leave today, wants to take a look at kind of how the handout's going to be set up, just let me know and I'll get copies of those for you. And then I'll make sure to send out to everybody once it's completed. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? All right, thank you all.